What's good, folks? It's KnightmareFrame here with a new Warframe video talking about Warframe trading. Also, I'm going to try to keep my elbow off of the table so the camera doesn't shake. Anyway, Warframe is praised by many as having one of the best free-to-play models in all of live service gaming. Free-to-play games all have a very low bar to entry, but a majority are plagued with horrible monetization, FOMO, creating a problem, selling you the solution, and some end up just being full-on pay to win. Warframe has two main premium currencies, Regal Aya and Platinum. Regal Aya is of course a scam that you ignore unless you want the past prime access drip, okay? And of course Platinum, which is the main premium currency and is also tradable. Only tradable if it was purchased with real money, of course. The platinum that's currently circulating in the game is what drives the economy, and definitely helps free-to-play players stay afloat because they can grind the game and also earn premium currency via trading, as the free-to-play players and the devs are funded by the whales, not your moms, but people who have disposable income and spend it on video games to get ahead or lessen their burden on the grind. Going back to the topic of trading, as I stated, platinum is tradable. So someone has to purchase it with real money and then use that currency to either spend it on in-game shop items or trade with other players for gear and resources. Trading for premium currency is a dream for a lot of F2P players, and a lot of people who I've spoken with who play Warframe either haven't spent a single dime on the game and earned everything legit F2P, or some who are dolphins, who are mostly free to play but sometimes spend on Tenogen. That's where I fall in, of course. And full-blown tactical whales, who buy every prime access on release and only purchase platinum when they have the 75% off. Which one do you fall under? Trading for premium currency is one of the things that makes Warframe unique, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There is a darker side to trading, as it does have quite a lot of downsides, and these downsides can be fixed with asynchronous trading. To understand the issues, let's break down the process of Warframe trading. You have three options. 1. Scroll through or post on the trading channel. This is a free open market. Don't expect honor or even smart individuals to exist. If you get scammed, it's your fault for not doing research. Either you sold too low or bought too high. Either way, you fucked up. If you're a new player, it's best to avoid this place and only come here if you're the one who's doing the scamming. Just saying. And then number 2, you have Maru's Bazaar. This is where AFK Andes who sit around, hold up their little things, hey, you want to buy this thing right here? It's mostly like garbage that they want to get rid of, but they don't want to be bothered going through the trade channels or Warframe market. Pretty much people who don't know the trade side exists, and also bots and sometimes RMTers. Just avoid this area, period. And finally, the trade site, Warframe.market. This is somewhat a fair marketplace where everything is cataloged and categorized accordingly. That somewhat functions like an auction house. You can pretty much search up items that are tradable, see who's online, and you would have to message them, and whoever is willing to trade will invite you. Now, what's wrong with trading? The major issue is the whole process of inviting someone, going to a dojo, and trading. 1. You need to stop whatever you're doing to perform a trade. Now imagine having to stop a mission to trade someone for 10 platinum, while at the same time you have limited trades a day. Sure, it's your fault for putting up an item for 10 plat, but it's not about the item, it's the whole concept and function of the process. Meaning, you have to prioritize larger transactions when you want to get rid of a backlog of items that only sell for a few plat. But you can't risk losing your trade limit, as these smaller items are higher in demand and are pretty cheap, while you have a few big items that will sell eventually. Also, the idea of what you don't sell today will be harder to sell the next day, or selling it now for cheaper would mean you would lose out on a bigger sale tomorrow. 2, Warframe peer-to-peer connection. So connecting with people, let's say overseas, is super slow and laggy. Warframe hasn't fixed anything to do with connection issues, and a lot of bugs are tied to host and client connections. Imagine someone from South Africa trying to connect to someone in New Zealand, Asia to North America. It's just not great. And then, of course, you have price fixing. This is better if we get a proper visual representation. Let's say I want to search up for something, Volt Prime set. We're going to click on this. See, we have all these other different Volt Prime parts. You can click on each one if you want to purchase things individually. But I want to purchase Volt Prime set. You can see the trade tax, it's 8,000, and this is what everyone is selling it for. And if you want to buy it, you click buy and you message this person in game. Very simple, right? Now, with the price fixing example, let's say you're a cheapskate and you don't want to purchase this for 50 platinum. I mean, it's a very reasonable price. Volt Prime being 50 plat, I mean, he is unvolted currently, but usually he goes for a lot more. But 50 plat is a very reasonable price. Well, let's say you have some cringelord cheapskate, and he would come in here and set this to, let's say, 40 plats. Now, that 40 plat individual will definitely get a lot of people messaging him. I'm just giving you a very radical example, but bear with me. So, selling it for 40 plat. Now, people, of course, will message him, but he won't answer because he doesn't even own the item. He just wants to buy it for cheaper. So by pretending and putting it up on the market, he will bait other people who are desperate for platinum to sell it for cheaper. And then he will jump in and buy it for that price. And usually when you try to message this person, they'll be like, oh, I was AFK, sorry, do you still need it? And if the person says, nah, I'm good, I already bought it, hey, he got away. But then if someone says, oh, yeah, I definitely still need it, well, he has two options. Say, oh, shoot, I already sold it, I'm so sorry. You know, I forgot I put it, you know, some bullshit, all right? The reason I say this, because I've dealt with 3 individuals who did this. But thank God, the people on Warframe.market do their due diligence and get rid of these cringelords. Oh, there you go, see, 49 plat. This guy, see, this guy wants to sell it for a lot cheaper. Case in point, you see what I'm saying? Or sometimes they will copy this message, right? And they will alter it by saying, hey, want to buy it for a certain amount of price, and you being the dumbass doesn't read, and you're like, ah, and you end up inviting them. But they're like, hey, I copied that message from the website, and if you trade it for that amount, well, you just got scammed, you're an idiot. So this is something for every Warframe player. I know you guys don't like to read. Please read. So, what's one way to fix all of this? Asynchronous trading, which I'll get to in a bit. I know I'm kind of, you know, but why doesn't DE do this? Well, a couple of reasons. One of them is money, and of course, too much of a hassle, I guess. You see, DE is a company. Shocker, I know, right? And just like most companies, they need to make money and bank on new players who usually don't know any better or dad gamers to purchase platinum from them and buy stuff on the market. Because what's easier? For someone who doesn't have much time in the day but has a lot of money. So what is asynchronous trading? To understand, let me boot up Path of Exile. This is Ange, the currency exchange, and my personal vendor that allows me to sell stuff to other players. If I Control-Alt-Click her, so for example, these are all the things that I have for sale here. I know you can't see some of them, but it doesn't matter. On all these different tabs. Here's where I'm selling like some really shitty tablets, but don't mind those, right? You can see on the right side, these were all my transactions. Stuff that other people have purchased from me. And 99% of all these things that I sold were when I was offline. Now let me show you how this works. I have a headhunter here. If I'm using a third-party app to price check, right, I can see, right, at base, it doesn't go for much, right? So what if I add all of these other things here, as 2 charm slots, and of course, it is enchanted. This will go for a decent amount, right? 28 minutes ago, someone is selling it for 110 divs. So I can technically sell it for the same price or undercut this guy. If I really want to sell this item, you know, right away, I can open up, pick this item, drop it here, sell it for the same price, 110 divines, list the item, and sell. Now you're going to get a little grace period where you have a chance to change or do any other alterations with the item before it's locked out. When it's locked out, that means you cannot touch it for a certain period. This is, of course, to combat price fixers and other weirdos. So if you make a mistake, you can easily just click the item again and change the price. Of course, it's going to lock out after a certain period. So let's say, maybe I don't want to sell it for 110. Let's do 120. It's just for example, right? So you see right now it has a lock. I cannot touch this. See? It's locked out. If I press like forward slash or whatever, right, I open up this window right here. And this way I can search out for different items. Let's say I'm looking for the same item, a Headhunter Heavy Belt, right? Without any filters, I just search. You can see it's holy shit, 10 chaos, bro, the inflation. Anyway, this is 10 chaos, 2 charm slots, right? It's already been corrupted, right? So let's say, oh, I don't want this to be corrupted at all. I want it bare bones. So I click here, miscellaneous, and no corruption. I search. Okay, it's about 3 divs, okay? But this is only 1 charm slot. This is unidentified as well. So let's say I want this to have at least 2 charm slots, right? Implicit, as you can see right there, all these other things, right? Charm slots. You can't see it. I know I'm blocking it, but I'm gonna put minimum 2 charm slots, okay? And search for it. Around 5 divs, minimum 2 charm slots. So this is pretty chill, right? And unidentified, so you don't see like how much attributes or max life it has. You get the idea. Now, if I want to purchase any of these, I can just, of course, click this button, travel to hideout. So let's do this one. Travel to hideout. And it teleports me to the hideout. And right there, it's highlighted. And I can just click this and buy out. You can see the little gold tax right there, the 19,000. That's the gold tax. And the currency that you're buying it for is the 5 divines. That's how trading works in this game. And he has everything available here. Let's see, what other items does this guy have? Right, he's got this jewel here for 10 exalts. That's like butter change. This is for 2 divs, you know. So if I want to buy anything else, I can just buy the thing I came here for and purchase anything else. That's how it works. And that person that I went to is offline. So when he does come back from whatever he was doing, you know, work, whatever, he comes back like, oh, I'm chilling with divines in the earnings tab. Just like that. It is so good and very easy to actually trade in this game. I've earned so much currency playing in this game than I would have, you know, playing in Warframe. As soon as I stop recording, somebody comes in and just buys my Warrior Invictus. I just made easy money. Just like that. Not even actively trading. That's how easy it is to trade in this game. Now, this is, of course, where another issue might arise, where the economy might crash. And the reason why Path of Exile feels fair and refreshing with async trading is because the economy resets every 3 months or so. With the start of a new league. Leagues are pretty much a new season. Now, Warframe can't just reset the economy, but they can do something similar. Of course, having daily trade limits or how many things you can put up for sale in the day. And you can only have async trading if you've purchased a trade slot, similar to tabs in Path of Exile. So for example, people can't actually use this unless they purchased a premium stash tab and assign that premium stash tab as a merchant tab. So for example, I would open the microtransaction shop and we can go to the, here we go, stash tabs. Again, there's a sale right now, so this is pretty huge. 40 coins is $4, 4 euros, and this is like 16 euros, give or take, right? This is 6 premium stash tabs for 16 bucks, right? So someone would buy these premium stash tabs and they would go on the website and assign these as merchant tabs. So stash tabs are where you organize most of your loot, right? All the stuff that you have accumulated. These are all my different loadouts. I can't be bothered to drag them all out, but you get what I'm saying, right? Now, you already saw how I put up these items for sale in Path of Exile. Now, how would this work in something like Warframe? So this is my little paint thing that I drew up real quick. Let's say you bought a trade tab in Warframe. It has all the squares similar to like PoE, you know, and if you want to add something, you have the plus button, you click add, and it opens up a menu. And this menu you get over here, for example, right? You search up Rhino Prime and it will bring up all the items that associate with Rhino Prime. And you see over here, the 4 slot, that's your Rhino Prime set for sale. See the little scroll thing I put here? And you can click, I want to put in the full set, you know, the blueprints, chassis, neuroptics, and systems, right? Boom. There you go, the set. And it will show you over here 4 out of 4 with a little check mark to show you that it has all the things that will make Rhino Prime, to avoid, you know, people trying to scam you. For example, let's say you put in the set there and it's not the full Rhino set, right? You're just gonna have, like, let's say the cheapest Rhino piece and then with other fodder Warframe pieces, right? That nobody wants. So this is one way to, of course, assess what you're buying. You know, quality control type of shit. So for example, here you can see if you want to sell a Warframe set, a weapon set, it will take up 4 quadrants. And if you're selling a mod, 2. If you want to sell like relics or resources, it will take up 1 box. So this is one thing that they can work on when it comes to, let's say, limiting your trades a day. You know, keeping it the same with, like, let's say mastery rank, and it opens up more slots the higher you go up in mastery. You know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And this way, you don't have to deal with people messaging you, you know. You have to stop your mission, right? For example, you accidentally left your market, Warframe market, on where you're online, or you're online on the website, and someone has messaged you, hey, you know, you're still selling that thing. I want to buy that arcane, but you're busy in a mission. Let's say you're doing a really long mission, disruption, cascade. You got to tell them, like, nah, dude, I can't. So it's just all that back and forth. This completely removes all that back and forth. Anyway, what do you guys think? And this is my little idea here because, you know, playing a lot of Path of Exile, and when you play some Warframe, especially when you play a lot of different games, you notice all the good things from other games, and you're like, hey, why doesn't my game have this, right? It's a good idea. So what do you guys think? How would you want asynchronous trading to be implemented in Warframe? And would you actually like the idea of asynchronous trading in Warframe? Anyway, folks, tell me your thoughts down below. But that has been it from me. I do have enjoyed this video and learned something from it. And if you did, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.